Hey everyone, it's Barb from Knotty Yarnies with a little bit of a information session, let's call it that. First of all, this is a Tunisian headband or hairband, whatever you call it from where you're from, and it has a twist in it. I made this myself. If anyone is interested in how to do that, I can do a future video. I'll add it to my list of things I have projects going on right now. Today I'm working on, as well as doing this video, I want to do the my slipper pattern that I promised everybody. It's in the works, I promise. I did the first slipper and I'm going to be doing the video within the next day or so. So today I wanted to talk about storage of yarn. Now, not necessarily storage of yarn that you will be working on eventually, but storage of yarn as you're working on a project, or a whip if you have a whip and you have a way to just store that for until you're working on it, or even while you're working on it. So I have a few items here to show you, some ideas. Some maybe you've seen, heard of, some maybe is like, oh my goodness, I just learned how to store that, or to use that as a ball winder, like a yarn bowl is what I guess I'm saying. So let's get right into it instead of me here babbling on and losing my words. Okay, so the first one is just going with simple basket, ball of yarn in the basket. If it has holes, so if you're going, saying you're shopping at the dollar store, Walmart, Target, wherever you shop, and you say, I'd like a basket to use for my project. So this way, when your whip is in the middle of it, you could also store the whip on top of your ball or balls. And so what you want to look for is one with either holes in it, or even just a hole in each side. I'll show you one of those too. But you just easy as putting your yarn through and putting this on the table beside you and pulling as you work. And as you see the ball, it will just, as I keep pulling, it just keeps pulling off, and then it'll roll. So that's a basket. My next idea, I use all of these. I've used all of these at one point or another to work on projects. So my next idea is a heavier bowl. If you want to do a yarn bowl, like I've never purchased, it's a dream thing I'd like to get eventually, but I don't really need it, so I'm not sure. I've seen some pretty fancy yarn bowls out there, I must say, and I like funky stuff. So the funkier for myself, the better. I'm not a plain Jane person whatsoever. You'll learn that about me. So you might see a yarn bowl with that funny guy's face on it, and the yarn's coming out his nose, and it looks like, you know what it looks like. Well, I love that kind of idea. Or out of a mouth or something, and it looks like the tongue. Well, here that's the bowl. I put a binder clip on, and then I fed it through, and comes off no problem. It just unravels in the bowl. Easy peasy. This is heavy enough so when you pull, this is not going to fly. So I mean, if you were to use a Tupperware bowl and say you get a knot or something in your skein of yarn, if you're not using a ball, you're just center pulling it from the outside, you might get a snag and pull it right off wherever you have this sitting. So I like it to use a heavier something, so if I pull and get a snag, it's not going anywhere. It's going to sit there and I'm going to feel the tug. So then I'll know, oh, I need to fix that snag that I've got going on there. So that's a yarn bowl with using just a binder clip. I'm going to take the binder clip off because I'm going to show you if you need a larger one, because you know how you can get the larger skeins of yarn. So for the larger ones, this is a secret yet. So I have a larger bowl. This would fit one of those burlap blankets in here, no problem whatsoever. It would fit probably even a larger one. So again, here's the binder clip. My ball of yarn's in there. I take the end and I just thread it through You could use your fingers or you could use a crochet hook if you like. And then the same unravels really easy. And this is heavy enough too, because I mean, the size of it is quite large. This would also be in place of a basket because it has enough room for your whip in it as well. For those who don't know what whip is, and I keep saying the word whip, it's WIP. And what WIP stands for is work in progress. So you keep your work in progress with your yarn. You could keep your scissors and your needle and your hook in there, and you have a project even to go. Throw it in a bag, away you go. If you want, and even your pattern would fit in there. So that's a great big, I just got that at, where did I purchase this? Either the dollar store or Walmart, I want to say. So one or the other, purchased it there. So along that same idea is a bucket. So when you're shopping for something, look for something of a larger size, because the smaller size are nice and cute and all. Like if you're making socks, maybe you fit the ball of yarn inside, but most of the time we're working on a bigger skein of yarn. So I like to get the bigger items, and I always look for something with a hole. Now something like this, it's pretty light. So when you go to pull and you get a snag, it's going to pull on you. But I mean, you could put some rocks, like, you know, the rocks you get at the dollar store, so they're inside rocks, they're not dirty from being outside. I've put those actually inside, and then it just rolls around because they're smooth rocks. They're like polished. So I put those to weight it down a little bit. And then you just thread your yarn in through the handle. See, that's the hole. Some baskets, maybe if you had a laundry basket, you could weave it through the holes on the laundry basket in the same manner. And it would probably be heavy enough, a laundry basket. And that would probably hold like if you're doing an Afghan or something, it would hold all your yarn in a laundry basket and just pull it through the holes in the laundry basket. Another idea is, I made this for a yarn bowl for myself, is a basket. It's just, I crocheted it, but it's very large. It would fit actually 3 or 4 skeins. It would fit in here. Say I was using this again. It would fit these in there if I'm making, say, doing something that had 3 or 4 colors, or like a checkered something or a design on it, and I wanted more colors. It would fit all the skeins in there, and then I just pick my next color out, and all compacted together would be easy to pull. I could put a binder clip on here, or you could just feed your yarn through one of the holes and pull. This is again light, so if you wanted to weight it down, maybe put a book in the bottom to weight it down, something like that. That's another idea. Another one that I've recently come across, I purchased this at an auction sale, my husband did, and it is this is a more expensive purchase, but maybe if you look around your secondhand stores, thrift shops, that kind of idea, you might get lucky and find one. I found this bag. It holds like 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins here, 5, 6 across, and then it has a big section in the middle to store your whip inside. But these are just all on the outside, so you put your yarn ball in there or your skein in there, you zip it up a little bit, and then you take your tail, and then there's a hole in the top, and you pull your yarn tail through. So see that one? I already have that color in there, and it's already tucked all safely inside. This is great when you're going on vacation, or you're going to the beach, or you're doing a road trip. Your ball is not rolling around on the floor, or when you're pulling, it's not going to go flying somewhere like the other ones were lighter and going to fly. These ones will sit really nicely in there, and it won't go anywhere and get dirty. So this is my favorite for road trips and out at the cottage. Nothing will get dirty or anything. So all perfect, no bugs even on it. That's probably my number one thing, would be the bugs. Another thing I take on road trips, if I'm just going, and I do a lot of dishcloths, so I get hundreds of orders of dishcloths every year. from people. So, and I gift them for showers and Christmas gifts because everybody asks for them. So I usually stick them in my bag that my mother-in-law bought for me from my husband's uncles. They have a bag design company in Peterborough, Ontario, and I just love this. It's knitted sheep, and it has 3 pockets on each side. Then on the inside, there's pockets as well, and there's a zipper part, and then the whole bag zips up. And I keep in 4 to 6 of the yarn of the Bernat cotton handicrafter, and I keep them in there. So right now on the go, as you'll see, I've got 1 dishcloth going for crochet, and then I've got another one in here, started a knitting one. So sometimes I feel like knitting, and sometimes I feel like crocheting on road trips. I actually knit in the dark, so when we're driving, by the way, I don't drive. I'm not the driver. So when we're driving, I could do the knitting, and when it's daylight, I can do the crochet. So I like switching back and forth. Sometimes the knitting sometimes will bother my shoulder, so I'll switch back to crochet. And then if my wrist gets sore, which they don't usually, I'll go with the knitting. So yeah, this bag I don't go anywhere. Like if I'm going an hour drive away, my knitting bag, I call it my knitting bag because they're knitting sheep, it goes with me everywhere I go. I can't sit still and not have my hands going. I just like to keep my hands busy, so that allows me, I want to get busy, and I could take a few minutes break, but I enjoy keeping busy. My favorite find, there's a story behind this one. I wanted a yarn bowl so bad a few years ago, and I knew I wanted it a large size so I could fit like a Bernat blanket ball of yarn in it. And I just knew that's one thing I knew. I wanted it large. Number 2, I wanted it very heavy. Number 3, I wanted it to have a lid. And 4, it had to have a hole. I had no idea how all of this was going to play out. So I went around my thrift store in town here. It's a Value Village, with that in mind, those 4 things in mind. So when I went around, I was, looked at something. This is heavy, but it doesn't have a hole. This is lovely. It's heavy, has a hole, but doesn't have a lid. Like there was just always something missing until I found this item. And it's not even what it was meant for, but it was only $5.99. I couldn't believe it. And it's from years ago. Like I'm sure auctions and yard sales and flea markets and everywhere you would find one, because they were out years and years ago. I don't even know. I've never used one for what it's intended for, but I threw the piece out that come with it actually. So this is it. It's a soup tureen. Yeah, it comes with a soup ladle in it, and it comes with bowls and everything. You can see how large that is compared to my head. Yeah, heavy, very heavy. It has a lid, has a hole, very heavy, like I said, and it would keep everything, and it's very, very large. It's the last one. So it has the hole in it. When it snags, the hole doesn't pull off, like it doesn't go, because it's heavy too. So when I get a knot in it, it just kind of snags on inside there, and I know what to stop and fix the snag. So I love this. This is like my favorite way of having a yarn bowl. Absolutely favorite. And then there's one other thing I've been waiting for years for. I seen it at an auction one time. It went for $65. I don't know where you could purchase one. Probably can get them online, but someone in our local area was selling one on the marketplace through Facebook, and she wanted $10 for this item and a whole bunch of other crafting items. So it was kind of like, get this, and the other stuff was a bonus. But I just wanted this, and the $10 was totally, totally worth it to me. So it's a big case. You've probably seen them around. Holes on the top. When you open it up, well, flip the handle back. When you open it up, it's got the sections. So there's 7 sections there. There's only 6 holes though. The middle one could be a section. I might yet get my husband to drill a hole in the middle for the smaller middle section, because I do have skeins that will fit in that as well. But just as easy as threading the yarn through there, clicking in place and pulling. And I use the center pull skeins in here. I suppose, I haven't tried it yet, that you can pull from the outside even through this. I'm not too sure about that, but I will be trying that. So like I said, I mean, you could use things like a box to let your ball roll around in and use the binder clip. You can use baskets, like the wicker baskets, and if there's a hole, thread it through the hole. If not, put a binder clip on that. I've seen so many different ideas. I've also used, if I was somewhere and had just a small project, like I was working on socks, you could use one of the larger Ziploc bags, put it in there with your hook, and then pull your hook out, zip it up until there's just a hole, and you could use that too when you're on the go. I've also seen little bags you could knit or crochet that go on your arm, so you could pull it out and you could crochet or knit right in front of you. I was tempted actually to do that, and when I'm at the gym, and then go on the recumbent bike and sit there, have that dangling off and doing my thing while I'm biking. An idea. Keep busy exercising and getting something done in the process besides burning calories. I love that kind of stuff, things that are multitasking if you're able to do so. So if you have any ideas that I missed, I'd love to hear about them, because I've been knitting for years and years, and I come up with unique ideas, I think, but I mean, I haven't heard it all. There's no way. There's no way I've heard it all. So leave a link down, not a link, sorry, scratch that. Leave comments down below with what you've tried, or maybe what you've seen that you're going to try or try to try. Other ideas for yarn storage, things like that. Other ideas for other videos. As I said, I'm just starting my collecting, and you could look forward to starting. I'm hoping to have the editing done by Sunday to have my slippers patterns out, and hopefully for you to do them. And I'd love to start seeing those. I did start a Facebook group called Knotty Yarnies, spelt the same way. Add that. I'd love to have you there, and we could get ideas off of there, and I could share you more pictures and things, as I'm just getting used to how to add pictures and links and everything to YouTube. So I'd love to connect with you over there as well. So until next time, which won't be too long, looking forward to that slipper videos so much. So, and if you haven't already, make sure to do the hashtag Christmas in July Fairies and enter for a chance to win over 100 prizes. Last count, it was 109. 109. So 109 gifts, like unheard of, from all kinds of people that are YouTube personalities, creators. So please go ahead and give them all a subscribe, like, and comment with whatever they say in their videos. So take a little while to watch their videos, watch my video down below, and comment with the answer to my question that I ask in the video. But don't forget to subscribe. That's very important. I would really deeply appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, and please give this video a thumbs up, as it helps with the algorithm. I thank you, and have a great weekend.